What if I told you that anyone, regardless of income, could become a millionaire? No lottery wins, no inheritance, just a simple strategy that has worked for decades. I'm Emilis, and today we're uncovering the simple, proven steps that anyone, and yes, anyone, can take to reach 1 million. All you need is consistency, patience, and the right strategy. We'll cover all of those in this video. This idea isn't just theory, it's backed by real-life examples, like the story of Ronald Reed, a man who proved that anyone, regardless of their job or background, can build incredible wealth with the right strategy. A simple janitor who quietly amassed over 8 million. How? Through discipline, investing, and the power of compound interest. Stick around because by the end of this video, you'll have a clear, actionable plan to start your journey to 1 million, no matter where you are today. You'll learn the exact steps to save, invest, and grow your wealth efficiently using proven methods that anyone can follow. Now, Ronald Reed didn't come from wealth. He wasn't born into privilege, didn't attend elite schools, and never earned a high salary. Yet, he quietly built a multi-million-dollar fortune. The key to his success? Understanding one simple equation. Income minus expenses equals cash flow. It's simple but powerful. The key isn't earning a six-figure salary. It's spending less than you earn and investing the difference. Yet, many people live paycheck to paycheck. Whether it's impulse spending, financing a car, or expensive vacations, they end up with negative cash flow. But by flipping this equation in your favor, controlling expenses and investing, you create a cycle of wealth growth. And that's exactly what Ronald did. He started by saving a small portion of his modest salary, sometimes just $50 per month, and consistently invested in blue chip stocks. Over decades, those small investments, combined with reinvested dividends, compounded into millions. This proves that even small, steady contributions can lead to a massive wealth over time. But here's something even more surprising. Did you know that over 75% of millionaires come from low-income backgrounds? The difference? They also build more than one income stream. Of course, creating extra income isn't easy, but even an extra 100 euros, 200 euros a month can change everything when invested properly. Side gigs, freelancing, or small part-time jobs can accelerate your wealth building journey. Ronald himself worked multiple jobs, including as a janitor and a gas station attendant, earning modest wages. Despite his long hours, he knew that simply working more wouldn't make him rich. Instead, he focused on working smarter, carefully saving and investing his extra earnings into stocks that pay dividends. Over time, these investments snowballed, eventually transforming his financial future. But what truly accelerated Ronald's wealth wasn't just saving. It was the silent force that supercharged his investments, compound interest. Imagine this. If you double a single grain of rice on each square of a chessboard, by square 30, you'd already owe 1 billion grains of rice. This is how exponential growth works, and that's where the compound interest comes from. Now let's apply this principle to your money. Let's take Anna, a 30-year-old teacher who started investing 200 euros per month in a simple index fund 5 years ago. At first, it didn't seem like much, but as her investments grew and compounded, she began seeing real progress. Today, her portfolio has grown to over 15,000 euros, not because she saved aggressively, but because her money worked for her. Let's see how much money she would have in her investment accounts by the time she's 65. All right, so she has 15,000 now, 10% return, and she has 35 years to go, and she invests 200 euros a month. This is compound interest calculator, you can do it. 1.248 million. If you roughly calculate, you can make like 4,000 passive income easily from this with very low risk. And she only invests 84,000 to make this? Like, now, the power of compounding transforms small, steady investments into substantial wealth. The same principle can work for you. If you invest the 200 euros a month, or even more or less depending on your situation, your money starts working for you. Over time, you earn returns on your returns, creating unstoppable momentum. Now, I use 200 as an example, but the key takeaway is consistency in investing, no matter the amount. Whether you start with 50 euros, 100 euros, or more, the key is to begin and to stick with it. Now, let's break down exactly how you can turn these contributions into a million over time. Here's the exact step-by-step plan. First of all, we want to save a portion of your income every month, even if it's a small one. I would start to aim with 10% as a minimum, and ideally with a goal of 20% as soon as possible. Second piece is invested wisely in assets that grow. We'll cover where I invest in a moment. And a third one, stick to the plan for the long term. Success isn't instant, but it is inevitable with time. Now let's run the numbers. Now let's assume you start with zero. Maybe some of you start with higher sums. And let's say you invest 200 euros a month with a 10% of average return. Now in 10 years, your assets would be 40,000. You only invested 24,000. Let's increase the years and see how the compounding. You only invested 48, but your investments is already 151. Let's increase it by another 10 years, and that's where my magic starts to happen. 72,000 invested, 452,000 in your balance. And now if we increase it by a last decade, suddenly everyone is a millionaire, 1.264. And you invested less than 100,000. So that's more than x12 your money. And the biggest impact here is the time. It starts small, just a few euros a month, but over time it builds momentum, multiplying your wealth exponentially. You don't need to be financial genius. You just need consistency and patience to let your money work for you. Now, many people think 40 years, that's too long. They picture themselves waiting decades, watching time slip away and wonder, will it even be worth it? The frustration is real. Nobody wants to wait forever. But here's what most don't realize. The journey isn't just about the final number. It's about gaining financial security along the way. And yes, 1 million in 40 years won't have the same value as today. But here's the good news. Over time, your income will rise, making the monthly 200 euro investment easier to invest, and most likely that will grow higher. So you'll start investing 210, 220, 250, 300 euros, and so on and so on. Also, you can increase contributions as your salary grows, reducing the timeline. As example, invest 500 euros per month and you'll get to millionaire status 10 years sooner. Now, if you're ready to start, the next question is, where should you invest? The simplest and safest way for me is ETFs, and for ETFs following indexes like S&P 500. Here's why. First of all, it's globally diversified. You invest in the world's biggest companies. Second of all, it has low fees, no need to worry about expensive fund managers, and at the same time, historically strong returns. S&P 500 has averaged around 10% per year over decades. Of course, history doesn't guarantee returns in the future, but I do think that the top 500 businesses from America will continue to earn money. Now, by consistently investing in ETFs, you're following the exact method that made Ronald Reed a multimillionaire. For a practical example, in my own investing journey, I use VUAA for my hands-on experiment, SPYL for my main portfolios when I'm investing smaller sums and in euros, and S6R8 when I invest larger sums, such as through my company. All following the same strategy of long-term disciplined investing in ETFs, tracking the S&P 500 index. Each of those choices is great, but you'll have to pick one for yourself. Now, you can watch my portfolios and track them in the description and bio, but I just want to remind you that becoming a millionaire isn't about luck. It's about taking small, consistent steps over time. If you found this useful, follow the journey. I share real investment strategies and practical steps every week. And watch this video to see how I personally invest and how you can get started right away. See you in the next one.